Aloha, beautiful souls. Welcome to A Better World with Adrienne. I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that you're alive. I have energy buzzing through my whole entire body. I just danced in the sunlight with this amazing music, and I'm just really excited to be here. I love this space so much, and it's literally one of my favorite things that I get to do. So I'm excited to share. I'm excited to channel. I'm excited to commune with you today. Today's episode is a big one. I'm leaning into this idea of healing from religion and Mother God. And this has been something that's been part of my path for a very, very long time. And the fruit is now ripe for me to share on this topic, for me to teach, for me to really just explore this with you. And the whole intention is for your freedom, for your love, for your potential, for your gifts to come fully online. Like it is that. So let's dive in. Let us call upon the altar. The altar is thank you in advance to Spirit. If you are new here, I set an altar for every podcast. The altar is we're setting the stage for miracles. I have 6 white hydrangeas on the altar, representing purification with Mother Earth. I'm recording this around the new moon in Virgo. It is all about a new beginning, steeped in the daily changes here on Earth. I have an unscented white candle burning, purifying the space, calling in all healed ancestors and guides. I'm noticing I'm wearing a white shirt. White is the color of all colors. It's everything. It's a clean slate. On the altar is my citrine Lemurian quartz crystal, calling in abundance, prosperity, divine intervention if needed. And I have rose quartz on the altar, calling in unconditional love. Unconditional love that cannot be tampered with, that cannot be deleted, that cannot be delayed, that is right here, right now, just about remembering, remembering, remembering. And no matter where you are, how you're tuning in, whether you are walking, driving, sitting, the final piece of our altar is the element of air. So we take 3 deep breaths together to connect our minds, bodies, and spirits. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Just shake your arms out. If there's any extra, shake out everything from the day leading up to this point. Inhale through your nose. Hold it at the top. Feel the white light cover your ears and your throat, opening up your portal to hear, to speak, to know. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Last one. Hold it at the top and bring forth an intention for this space. Why did you press play? To learn, to connect, to heal, to transform, to alchemize, to love. Keep holding because you're strong. Exhale out the mouth. Blink open your eyes if you close them. And welcome, welcome, welcome. The space, the portal is open. So, healing from religion and Mother God. Basically, I had a very important moment like 2 weeks ago where I realized that the way I prayed changed. And for me, even the idea of praying is something that was deeply uncomfortable for me for so long because I felt like I was outsourcing my own power. I felt like, okay, I'm the one in control here. I'm the one in command. And if you know me and my work, you're like, yes, that is a core value of mine. Like being in command of your life, like being in charge of your choices, being in charge of your behaviors. And, we can't control every outcome. However, we can control a lot, right? So, this idea of praying felt to me like, oh, I'm just giving my power away to something outside me so much. And so I never really resonated with the idea of praying. I always meditated, though. I've always meditated. And to me, meditation is different than praying. Meditation is like communing with source. Meditation is connecting with source, connecting with me, connecting with what we're creating together, like connecting. And it's like that reverent connection point. It would be like, okay, if I was in a committed relationship, like we would have dates, and the dates are points of connection. We are going to, these are the days a week that we spend time together and we go on dates and we create memories and we deepen our bond, right? To me, that's what meditation is with spirit. It's like, okay, we are going to deepen this bond. And you may notice as I channel this, the word that I use is going to change. I love spirit because it's all encompassing. It's like great spirit. Great spirit, whatever word that means to you. Some people use God, some people use universe, some people use source, some people use the force. Some people use all different words, all different things to describe. It's like this force that holds us all. The unseen that we're in constant dialogue with in our lives. Whatever you call it, it exists and it matters. And it's an important part of a better world. Like you have 10,000 angels around you, holding you, guiding you every single day. Every single day. So I'm going to use that word interchangeably. Back to the meditations, I was really meditating on just I meditate every day, and I'm communing with my creator. I'm communing with my highest self. Like this is how I stay the best version of me, by connecting with me, by clearing my mind, by connecting with spirit, all of this stuff, right? So I was in meditation, and I do the 6 phase meditation. If you haven't gone to that episode, it's called what is it called? The one daily practice that'll quantum leap you, and it's about a 6 phase meditation. Okay. And I do the 6 phase meditation, and the second phase is gratitude. It's thank you. It's thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I heard someone say the phrase Mother God. I actually have a new teacher, a poetry teacher named Chelsea Diane. If you've never heard of her, go look her up. She's a badass. She's amazing. She was talking about this idea of Mother God. And I never even thought about that. I mean, Mother Earth, I talk about Mother Earth. I talk about the Great Mother. I talk about, the goddess. And for whatever reason in my mind, that day in meditation, it came through of like, thank you, Mother God. Thank you, Mother God, for my body, for my health, for this blanket, for my socks, and I go down to the smallest things to the biggest things. And I say, thank you, thank you, thank you, Mother God. Thank you, Mother God. And I had never said Mother God before. And it was this crazy thing that happened where I realized I just started crying. I just started tearing up. And I was like, wow. And it came through. It was like the way I prayed just changed. And, I think a lot of times with praying, I had this idea that I would be like asking for something, like asking for a favor, right? Like asking for something. And, it's great to just say thank you. That's my biggest prayer every day is thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And what does it mean to pray is like, I don't know if I have the answer to that. To me, I think it's different for everyone. It's communing and having a creation portal between you and the divine. That's what praying is to me. And I just got this full body chills, and it was like the way I prayed just changed. Because thinking about God, there's like an oppressive element to it still. Still. That's why I say God source. That's why I say God source a lot. It took me a long time to even be able to say the word God. And what I realized is that before, when I was in relationship with God, not Mother God, with God, it was like, hey, like these are the things that are wrong. It was like I knew I was worthy, but I had to like prove myself. I had to like prove like, well, this is what I desire, but like here's the spreadsheet, and here's the receipt, and here's the budget, and here's all of this, and here are the reasons, and here are the explanations. And it's like, to Mother God, you don't need to explain anything. And I just felt all these huge warm arms wrap around me, and it was like, oh yeah, baby, anything you want. Oh yeah, I've got you. I've got you, like a mother. And it was so powerful to me, this idea of like God being a woman and Mother Earth and all of it. And it's like, but it's the matriarchy, and it is the return of the goddess, and it is the return of, the roots of most religion. They just deleted out the truth about like Mary Magdalene, about Mother Mary, about, even words in the Bible like virgin. The ancient word of virgin just means that you are a woman who belonged to yourself. You weren't controlled by a man. And I just had this major aha moment where it was like, okay, the way I prayed just changed because I feel a deeper level of receivership. I feel a deeper level of nurturing. I feel a deeper level of like unconditional love, where with God, it sometimes felt historically, for sure, for me, like, don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up, kid. That's what it felt like. And that's the messaging that I received in the church. And that is the messaging that most of our cultures that we exist in have so much patriarchal religion in them, that they are oppressive, that they are controlling, they are constricting, like they are not about freedom. They are not really about love. They're not really about truth. Like, and that's why so many people get turned off from religion, because religion is many times a distortion of the divine. and it's taken where the divine is twisted. And then it feels bad. And you're like, something's wrong with this, because your soul knows the truth. Your soul knows when something's off. Your soul knows. And so if you're anything like me and you're in this community, it's like your soul knows that there's fucked up shit in religion, which is why many of us fully rejected the divine for some portion of our life. So for me, I grew up in the church. I grew up singing in the church. I grew up playing music in the church. And in the grand scheme of things, I grew up in a pretty like open church, I guess. It wasn't like Southern Baptist or Catholic or anything like that, but it still was really messed up. I was still getting programmed every single Sunday, multiple times, because I would go to youth group and we would do other stuff. But it's like, programmed to fear that it's a fearful relationship, that it's a shameful relationship. Like, oh, I did something bad and I've got to like figure out like, why am I a bad person, you know? And Mother God doesn't do that. Mother God is like, I love you so much. I'm here for you. It's that mother hen protectress, like real abundance, real love. It's not distorted by the humans. It's not distorted by all these books that were written by men. And this isn't about hating men. This is about realizing, though, there is a very, 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 very strong current of unhealed masculine energy that's present in the collective that is running all religions. And most governments around the world were based on these religions. And most groupthink, most mass think, most people operate in this, and they don't even realize that they're doing it many times. And so with Mother God, I just felt this deep embrace, like, yeah, baby, I've got you. I've got you. And it was so different, and it was so soft, and it was like an exhale. And I never had really put that together before, this idea of Mother God. And I was like, wow, God is the mother. God is a woman. God is the divine feminine. God is the goddess. Like, before, before all of these historical things happened, which I'm not going to teach on them. I'm not going to channel on them because I don't have the correct dates. I don't have the correct names, but the goddess used to be worshipped because the womb is the center of creation. Nobody comes into this life without coming through a womb, okay? Unless you're Jesus. Still, he came through Mary. Immaculate conception. Whatever you believe on that or not. Like, I believe in miracles. I believe that that's possible. I've seen so many miracles in my own life that I'm like, wow, if you were really tapped in, I definitely believe that that could happen. And especially as we click more forward into living from our ancient codes, I think stuff like that's going to be more prominent. Not like popular or probably even talked about that much, but like we're going to be relying more on ourselves because the structures are going to be collapsing, which is, another reason why I wanted to create this episode. My story with religion, and this is going to be a flowy, just open channel episode. So my story is I started in the church when I was really, really young. We were quote unquote liberal church, but I don't even personally identify with liberal anymore. Because basically what has occurred is it's just all these different boxes, and each box has a certain judgment, and each box vilifies the other boxes. And it's like, it's not unity consciousness. It's not unconditional love. It's not the idea that, it's dehumanizing. That's what happens in religion. Dehumanization. That's what happens in politics. Dehumanization. That's what, if we boil it down, everything that we're going through right now as a collective, it's like, are you in fear or are you in love? And a lot of that is expressed as, are you dehumanizing others to make it okay for fearful, horrible behavior? Or are you steeped in unity consciousness, not about being perfect, not about never having feelings or anger or outrage about fucked up shit that's happening? No. However, it's this not letting that, cancer of the heart touch your soul, touch your spirit, touch your psyche, overtake you, right? That's why forgiveness is so important. So I grew up in the church and I was really, really involved. I did youth group and there was like very specific things where I started realizing, actually, like, I don't like this. Okay. So one of them was one of our close family friends was gay and we couldn't tell anybody. Like, me as a kid, like I was told, like, we can't tell anybody because they might lose their job. And so that's one thing, like my family, we were very accepting in that way, but the church I went to was not. And we did have a woman pastor, but it was like, it was still really weird and fucked up. And so I started thinking, I'm like, huh, interesting. I don't like that. And then something crazy happened when I was in high school where my youth leader's husband had an affair with the mom of someone else who was in my youth group. And it shattered me. It shattered me. And it was like, I just lost a lot of faith. It was like all these adults that I had looked up to as like moral compass, kind of like what's correct, And the weird thing about that too is I remember thinking, and this is the power of intuition, especially, you know, just trusting your intuition, just trusting your intuition. I knew when I was like 15, I was just noticing certain energies. I didn't have the words for it at the time, but I remember thinking, I feel like something's going on with them. And then when it fully came out, I said, I knew it. And then my mom was like, I knew it too. And I was like, how do we both know it? This is like, that's the power of being tapped into spirit and your intuition. Your intuition is always, 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 always speaking to you. Always, always. So that shattered me. And it's really interesting speaking about it now because I'm like, okay, clearly both people were in cages. Clearly everyone's in a cage, right? And people that are in cages are aggressive. They're mean, they're just vicious. They're just trying to get out, they're totally disconnected from their spirit and their source. Could be that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not these people. Maybe that was their truth, but they stay like there. It was just a very, very messy situation. It affected the whole youth group, all of these kids and young people. Um, it affected everything. And yeah, it was really hard for me. And that was the moment where I was like, fuck this. If this is the what it is to be like in relationship with God, I'm done with it. And, I don't think I ever fully lost my faith. I kept it through music. I kept a portal through music. And every time I played, I would be like, oh, I have that feeling. I have that soaring. I used to call it the God feeling when I was a little girl. I was like, oh my, you know that God feeling when you sing? You know that God feeling when you're playing in the water? You know that God feeling? And it was like I couldn't describe it as anything besides, you know that God feeling? And I still have that when I play in the ocean or I play out in the when I was, dancing and to music before this episode, I was in that God feeling. However, it's Mother God now to me because it has really just taken away that gunk of oppression, that gunk of judgment, that gunk of like, yeah, you can have it, but like, prove it to me. Prove it to me that you're worthy. Prove it to me that you've done A, B, C, D, E right. And that's just not correct. That's not love, right? There's a difference between showing up in integrity and needing to prove your innate value and worth. Okay. And to me, that is the difference between God and Mother God. And I just want to share, like, I'm just channeling this from the heart. It feels really important to share. So, like, if you're someone who has struggled with, okay, I grew up in the church, or like I see all these things and I see it in the government, and I see it in this and that, and maybe there's parts of religion that you really, really resonate with, and maybe there's other parts that disgust you, and you're like trying to reconcile it all. I just want you to know that you're not alone. And what I really invite you into is to protect your version of God source. Protect your version of divinity. Protect your version of your connection to Mother Earth, the universe, nature, all of these things, like, and use whatever word feels like love and freedom and magic to you. That's what it is. No matter what word resonates with you, just make sure it's that true source, that true essence, the pure essence. Because what happens in religion is it gets distorted. And then it's like if you had a clean glass of water, it'd be like if somebody put mud in it. And you're still thirsty, you need the water. You want the water. You love water. And yet there's some dirt in it. And it hurts, right? It's not so much nourishing as hard to get down, right? So use whatever words feel like love, freedom, and magic to you, and don't waver. Don't waver from that, and protect it. Okay. I came back into spirituality. I started meditating because I wanted to win a job. I wanted to win an audition in music. And that's the only reason I started meditating. That's the only reason I opened the spiritual door again. I was drinking heavily. I was doing substances, which, later upon reflection, I was just trying to access the divine through different ways, through really unhealed, toxic ways. And so I got very, strategic about meditation. And I didn't realize when I started meditating that I was going to come across my soul. I didn't realize I was going to come across a bunch of healing I hadn't done. I didn't realize I was going to open the spiritual door, that I was going to go on to go into yoga and become a yoga teacher, and then work in yoga studios, and then do breathwork teacher training, and then go deep into my shamanism and study one-on-one with my shaman for 4 years straight. Like, none of that I could predict, but that to me is Mother God and Spirit. Okay. I like both, but for whatever reason, this idea of Mother God just hit me so strong. It's like the Divine Mother, and Spirit is all of it, the force, right? But people are like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Mother came first. Mother came first. And remember that you're part of it. Remember that you're part of God, Spirit, Source, Mother God. The divine, the trees, the wind, life force energy, the cosmos, the universe. You are part of it. So there's no separation between you and spirit and you and Mother God and you. And the amazing thing is you get to call on this amazing force every single day and co-create with it because you are it. And you got placed on earth as like, hey, we're in this like experiment of joy and creation and bliss. And that really, when I feel into the religion, there's not that joy, there's not that creativity, there's not that bliss. It's restriction, it's oppression. It's here's the rules, do them. That's not what we do for New Earth. That's not how we're going to make a better world. And so I guess I am speaking out against religion because it's homogenizing. It's trying to put you, me, all of us in a box, and we just cannot. And you will know what's correct for you, right? You will know if it's empowering for you to be in these spaces or not. I really, 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 really invite you to be very discerning and feel into the energy in your body of like, hey, is this correct for me? Just because it was correct doesn't mean it still is correct. Maybe I just go on the special services a few times a year because that's very special for me, like in my ritual for that holiday or that time, you know? For me, I'm in constant ritual. Religion has nothing to do with my ritual. Ooh, I actually have a heaviness in my chest even when I say the word religion because I'm just so far removed from it, right? And I feel a heaviness in the chests of so many people who have been hurt by religion, who have been deeply fucking hurt by religion and denied their power, denied their creator, denied their sexuality, denied their freedom, denied their true joy, denied their true wealth, all because of religion. Like, yes, you're a child of God, but don't get too big. Yes, you're part of the divine, but don't do that. No, that's not correct. That's not right. So I really want you to remember and protect the divinity of your relationship with spirit. And I want you to know that if you have been hurt by religion, I want to tell you, me too. And it took me a really, really, really long time to even get comfortable saying the word God or spirit or any of that stuff. But it became so undeniable in my life that spirit was directing me, holding me, guiding me, even when I had no idea. And this idea of Mother God is just so nourishing. The great mother, it's like grandmother, it's like ancient, ancient, ancient goddess that is just holding you so deeply and providing for you and guiding you. And you don't need to prove anything and you don't need to change who you are. You just get to keep peeling off the layers that have blocked you from your innate essence again and again and again and again and again. And she's going to be there peeling them off with you, for you, through you. And you are her and she is you. This feels really, really important and good to say. I've never directly like flipped the bird to religion because it doesn't seem like a great use of energy. It's not a good use of energy, you know, like I am here to build new earth and that's what we're focusing on. And you know, what you focus on expands. However, I don't know if I've met one client or person that didn't have some deep kind of wound from religion, some deep kind of wound where they're, you know, you were told to be quiet and silent and you were shamed for your desires and you were shamed and you had to tally up like, how much should I hate myself this week? You know, how much is just so deeply unacceptable to me. And that aha moment, I thought this was on my list of podcasts I've had, I want to do a podcast on healing from religion. And I want to tell my story and I want to just share from the heart, like what I my perspective and my wisdom and my love and just yeah, just share, this is what this is. It's a place to heal and grow and learn and expand together for a better world. And the way I see it, first of all, the fact that I had that big of a breakthrough, like 5 year is I haven't been in a church service maybe in like 3 years. Um, I I was shocked that it affected me that deeply, this idea of Mother God. And then I realized, oh, there's still a little bit of ouch there. And then I was like, if there's ouch there for me, I know there's ouch there for my community. I know there's ouch there for my clients. And I knew that already, but I was like, wow, the learning and the growing and the healing never ends. And so I really wanted to share this reframe with you of like the whole way I pray and meditate, it just totally changed now. Because I used to say like, thank you, God, or thank you, Spirit. And I just started saying like, thank you, Mother God. Thank you, Mother God. And it's just such a deep homecoming and nurturing. And you might say, thank you, universe. Thank you, Goddess. But it's really this matriarchal, powerful womb wisdom of real unconditional love and no rules. You get to choose the rules in your life. Are there values that, I believe in, that I believe all of us get to hold? Yeah, it's called love. It's called love. Every single thing boils down to love. Courage boils down to love. Integrity boils down to love. Truth boils down to love. And then on the other side of the spectrum, everything can boil down to fear. And I just want you to remember this and know that any distortions you've had are just distortions. You're not broken. Spirit's not broken. It's not a tit for tat. You are innately a piece of the stars. And all of this is just bullshit, right? It's made by humans that's blocking your greatness, the greatness of all of us, the true power and potency, especially of women. So I want to share a Marianne Williamson quote with you because I adore her. And I've been reading her books and everything since way before she ever ran for president. And she's been saying the same shit for years and years and years and years politically. And she has this quote. And she says, to remember that you are part, I'm going to say Mother God instead of God. To remember that you are part of Mother God, that you are loved and lovable is not arrogant, it's humble. To think you are anything else is arrogant because it implies you're something other than a creation of God. Love is changeless and therefore so are you. Nothing that you've ever done or will do can mar your perfection in the eyes of Mother God. You're deserving because of what you are, not because of what you do. What you do or don't do is not what determines your essential value. Your growth, perhaps, not your value. That's why Mother God is totally approving and accepting of you exactly as you are. What's not to like? You were not created in sin. You were created in love. You were not created in sin. You were created in love, which means you're innately amazing. You're not broken. There's not something to fix. There's not something, I talk about how to change your life and how to change your results and how to grow and self-actualize, right? And that is important and amazing, but it has nothing to do with your innate worth, your innate love. That's the difference, right? And so it's your power and your humility all wrapped into one. It's like you are powerful, and to play small in your life is actually incredibly arrogant because you are forgetting that you're part of God source energy. You're part of Mother God, and she lives within you. That's actually arrogant, which is like a total reframe. Like, you're playing small doesn't help the world. It actually hurts the world because it perpetuates separation, right? So this humility as well is wrapped in the cloak of Mother God, because being humble is like, yeah, I'm a powerful creator and I'm here for big things and big shit, and I know it's going to happen, and I also know there's a vast 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 universe out there, and I'm always going to be learning, I'm always going to be growing, and I'm always going to know that there's a force way bigger than me at play that can check my ass if needed from time to time. So, yeah, I just want you to reflect on this idea. I just want you to reflect and receive this idea about, okay, healing from religion. What healing do you get to do still from religion? I don't think any of us come through the world that we're in right now, without having some kind of wound or scar from religion. And if you're a deeply spiritual person, it's probably been a big source of pain and inner conflict for you, because there is part of it that's very, very, very real, but it's just been distorted and demonized and taken over by darkness, to be honest. And that's where we're heading in New Earth, is, you know, really staying in full light and full love and full power for the light and for the agenda of, freedom and love for all people everywhere. May all beings be happy and free, right? So the reflection for you today is there healing for you to do from religion? If so, what? Journal on it, reflect on it. Pluto is in Capricorn for the last time in our lifetime. And one of the major systems of oppression that must go through a death is religion. People think about the financial system as a system of oppression. They think about the government as a system of oppression, but they don't think about religion as a system of oppression. Religion is the worst offender, I think. So reflect on that. And then I also want you to reflect on, I just saw a hummingbird again. How amazing. Reflect on Mother God. What would it mean if it was Mother God to you? How does that change things? Does it change things? Does that resonate with you? Is there another word I said on this podcast that resonates with you more? And then I want you to protect that relationship at all costs. Your relationship between you and your creator is the most important relationship in your life. And, that's why religion is so dangerous to freedom and love, is because it gets in the psyche and the soul of people and splits you and separates you from source. So choose a word, protect it, boo. Protect it at all costs. The first relationship that's the most important relationship in your life is your relationship with Spirit and Mother God. The second relationship is your relationship with yourself. Okay, after that comes everything else. And Mother God will celebrate you putting yourself first. It's religion that has said you gotta put everybody else before yourself. Nope. Mother God says, fill your cup and only pour from overflow. And, this is all my channel, my experience, but, if this resonates with you, I invite you into this reflection because this small shift just changed so much in me. It changed so much in me. So, yeah. This is today's episode. I love you so much. If this resonated with you, please, email me, message me on Instagram, tag me in your Instagram stories, and share this episode so we can get it out there. Share it with someone you feel like may resonate with this message, may need this message right now. And if you want to go deeper with me, I am focusing on one-on-one mentorship. I'm focusing on deep dive potent containers for the rest of 2024. This is something that I talk about every day, all day with my clients, is their relationship with source, their relationship with their creator, their relationship with, healing from all of this religious patriarchal stuff. And this idea of Mother God, Mother Earth, and the cosmos, astrology is Mother God. It's this big celestial womb. It's the dark womb of creation, right? So that's the invitation. The link to apply for one-on-one mentorship is in the show notes. I'm currently accepting 3 clients, 3 amazing, beautiful clients who are ready for a full deep dive of potent transformation through breathwork, astrology, daily coaching. It doesn't matter what your current goals are. If you know that you're here for a purpose that's part of a better world, and like, hey, I want to mentor with Adrienne, like I want to have, you want my one-on-one undivided attention and deep support. Like these are very, very sacred containers. Like all of my one-on-one mentorship clients, like they become like lifelong friends and like lifelong soul family because we go that deep. And I only like attract amazing people into my life, into my business, into those spaces. So if you're interested, go fill out the application. I will drop in with you soon once I receive that. And yeah, the other ways you can work with me are in the show notes. I've gotten really focused. So that's the invitation for today. I love you so much. I believe in you. I believe in a better world. Go out there, make a stranger smile because it charges the whole field, and you never know the ripple of that. And be the real you. The world needs you now more than ever, and the world needs you in your deepest, most potent connection to your creator, no matter what you call it. I love you, and I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrienne.